Top 10 worst prison jobs. According to the Arizona Department of Corrections, work opportunities are provided in settings as much like the real world as possible to provide inmates with every opportunity to practically apply newly acquired skills throughout their incarceration. Now that sounds good, doesn't it? Maybe to the new arrival who's still naive. It may sound as though a wealth of useful training and employment skills will be provided at little or no cost. However, the reality of the situation is far more hellish than the happy policy description. Not all prison jobs are bad. There are a few that can actually be enjoyable, but these are very scarce and reserved for select prisoners that have the requisite seniority and/or power. The overwhelming majority of jobs are menial, degrading, and often downright hazardous. For example, the job description of porter usually brings to mind images of a kindly older fellow offering to carry your bags at a hotel or train station. However, prison has its own definition. The bottom of the economic scale, the lowest rung, the entry-level point that everyone starts at. In short, if the job is demeaning, disgusting, biohazardous and smelly, be sure that the name porter will be attached. So let's move on to our top 10 worst prison jobs. Number 10, admin porter. A polite way of telling you that you'll be cleaning the guards' bathrooms. Although many prison guards spend hundreds of hours on the shooting range owning their marksmanship and proudly wearing sharpshooter pins, apparently hitting a standard toilet from 3 feet is utterly impossible. Number 9, store. While it may seem like a desirable position, the inmate store is fraught with terror. Nearly every other inmate will try to pressure you to steal, while the store guard keeps an eagle eye on you to ensure you are not stealing. Between the two, the stress levels go through the roof. Number 8, chain gang. This staple of prison life is alive and well in a variety of forms. The actual work will vary depending on the security level, but it's always some sort of cleanup activity. Also dependent on security will be how many actual chains are involved. The higher the level, the more you will be chained to yourself, others, and/or an actual hitching post if you misbehave. Number 7, grounds crew. Another politically correct title for raking gravel. Hours of nothing but raking gravel, because smooth gravel will show footprints if someone makes a run for the fence. Hot sun and an endless supply of rakes. Nothing zen about this rock garden. Number 6, rock crew. It may seem cliché in our modern era, but yes, prisoners do still break rocks. The high medium security facility in Winslow, Arizona has a lovely sandstone quarry where lucky fellows get to go out in leg irons and split large chunks of stone with hand tools. Number 5, clipper room. Not sure how the name came about for this one, but it sounds much better than steaming piles of hot kitchen waste. As inmates are fed on reusable plastic trays, someone has to wash said trays. Thousands of them, several times a day. The actual washing is performed by a huge industrial dishwasher that puts out great fluffy clouds of superheated steam. The bad part is the unfortunate bastard who has to rake the dirty trays with a 6-foot squeegee and knock the leftovers into the trash. Just a few minutes of this and you are coated head to toe in half-chewed prison rations. Multiply that by an 8-hour shift and you can imagine what the fellow smells like. Number 4, laundry porter. Most people don't even enjoy washing their own laundry. Imagine, if you will, 800 bags of the most disgusting, odorous, unspeakable, filth-encrusted clothing dropped at your feet that you then get to load into an industrial washer. With a bit of luck, some small amount of soap powder will remain after everyone else has stolen it, and the clothing may smell a bit better than when you started. Then the whole soggy mess has to be hefted into a series of gigantic dryers that put out a fantastic amount of heat and odour. Finally, the bags are reloaded into carts for delivery, and then you get to start on the next batch. Number 3. Medical porter. Regular hospitals are unpleasant. Prison hospitals are frightful. The equivalent of the ER sees a great number of assault victims and suicide attempts, and quite often large quantities of blood are spattered about on every imaginable surface. All that blood is unsanitary and needs to be cleaned up. You guessed it. Enter the medical porter. With a pair of latex gloves and a spray bottle of bleach, this poor fellow gets to mop up the nightmarish spatter of 1,000 atrocities. Number 2. Shower porter. Back in video 59 of my Prison Questions playlist, we had a look at the showers and the inescapable swirling pool of pubic hair and bodily fluids that circles the drain. Occasionally someone is sent in to attempt to clean all that up, and that unfortunate soul is the shower porter. The shower is one of the very few places in prison that a person can be alone, and a great number of things happen. Masturbation, sex, consensual or otherwise, full body shaving, enemas, fighting, accidental bowel movements. The list is endless. Number 1. Biohazard porter. The name says it well. This particular job is of most importance in Supermax, where the shit slingers and criminally insane decorate the halls with weaponized crap, mucus, blood, and whatever else they can manage to excrete and hurl. And not just hurl. Quite often, said fluids are violently crushed into the pores of the cinder block walls where it dries and becomes almost impossible to remove. When the level of filth becomes utterly intolerable, the problem inmate is moved to a holding cell and the biohazard porter is sent in. Clad in a disposable jumpsuit and paint mask, the fellow then attempts to dislodge the foul crust with the aid of a power washer. Unfortunately, this has the side effect of atomizing much of the filth, which then wafts throughout the building like a fresh cloud, directly from the anus of Satan. One of the worst things about all of these jobs is that they are classified as unskilled, which means that you are asked to risk life, limb, and sense of smell for the princely wage of 10 cents an hour.